Hi there, this is David from Honest IELTS. Now, AI can be a fantastic tool to help you with your IELTS preparation, especially in the productive skills like writing and speaking, mainly because they can give you a chance to practice those skills. Now, today I want to focus on writing, and I know that many students use AI to submit their essays and to get a sort of a band score for them. To be honest, it's not always going to be very accurate for that. As a former examiner, I've tried putting in various student essays into AIs, and I've sort of checked the scores that they produce, and often the differences in the grades or scores they give can be quite substantial. Often a band or a band and a half difference between ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. The reason for this is that these tools are not sort of really trained on IELTS essays. They don't have all the context that IELTS examiners have. They don't fully understand the criteria the way that examiners do. So it's not great with certain parts of the writing exam. It's okay with things like the grammar and the vocabulary, and it's okay with things like coherence and cohesion, but it does struggle with things like task response, where an examiner is much better at judging whether the student has answered the task correctly. So they may give you a high or a low score on task response, but it's not a very accurate assessment of your writing. Okay, so it's important to understand that. Now, this does not mean that you cannot use AI to help you with your writing, and there are many sort of practical and useful ways that you can do that. And I want to sort of go through how you can do that here in this video. Okay. You want it to look at your writing or your essay and to give you sort of meaningful and practical feedback. Advice that you can use to improve your English, so the next time that you write, it's going to be better. And this is really what you want. You want a feedback loop. You want to be able to write an essay, get feedback from the AI in a constructive and practical way, study the things it tells you to study, then submit another essay and slowly improve by getting more feedback from them. Now, I'm going to show you how you can do this, and this is with a sort of a form that you can fill out to generate a really useful prompt to enter into any sort of free AI tool like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, and it should work with any of these. This is a free form. I created it using AI very simply. You could create a similar one yourself, but for sort of practical reasons and ease of use, I've created one myself, and I'll show it to you, and I'll share a link to it in the description as well if you want to use it. But this will show you the process of entering a prompt into AI with your essay and with the title, and then getting some useful feedback from them. Okay. All right. So let me show you the form. So here it is here. You can see it says get AI feedback on your writing. Okay, and then it's got step 1, which task, and you can select whether it's going to be a task 2 essay, sort of the argument, opinion, or discussion, or is it going to be a task 1? Is it going to be academic training or general training? Okay, and then here it asks you to paste your exam question in. So I'm going to paste in just copy this, a example question, which is about prisons. Some people think that offenders should be put in prison. Others, however, believe that providing offenders with education and training is more effective than putting them in prison. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Okay, so that's the essay title. And now I'm going to just paste in a student's essay, or an example student's essay underneath. Okay. You can see it ticks it at the bottom, and then the next step is step 5. It says copy everything. So what happens here is that when I click that copy all button, it will copy the title, it will copy the essay, and it will also add in some more instructions to the AI to explain to it how it can mark your essay or give you feedback on your essay. And you can see what it says here. I won't go into it in detail, but it says I'd like detailed formative feedback. And then it's got the different criteria. And then it also asks for practical feedback on it, as well as a band range. I include the band range here. I know students want a score, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the feedback and the advice that they give you. Okay, so I'll then just click copy all. So I copy all of that. Okay, so that's copied everything. I can now go into something like, say, Google Gemini. Okay, I'll paste that in there. Okay, that's pasted everything in there. Okay, it's got the title, it's got the prompt, it's got the essay, and then if I click submit, we'll see what it comes up with. And you can see it then gives feedback on that, gives some general feedback, things like you have a clear structure and your arguments are easy to follow, which is a great foundation. It then breaks it down into the different areas like task response, strengths and weaknesses. So it gives you a strength, a weakness, and an actionable tip. So this is important. This is something that you need to work on or something you need to focus on for your future essays. So here it says state your position clearly in the introduction. And it does this for all of these different parts of the criteria. So coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. And it does break down a range score. Like I said, it can be useful. It's reasonably accurate. I would say maybe this essay might score a little bit lower, maybe 5 to 5.5. But it's not a bad score, but don't take it as a definitive score for an IELTS exam. Okay, the most important thing is looking at what it tells you should do. So it gives you, say, top 3 priorities for improvement. Here, refine grammar fundamentals, clarify your thesis, proofread for small errors. Okay. Now, another thing you can use the form for is to find some useful follow-up questions as well. If we go back to the form, at the bottom of it, it says, keep the conversation going with follow-up questions. Here are some useful ones to try. So things like, can you rewrite my introduction at band 7 so I can see the difference? Which of my sentences has the weakest grammar? Can you explain the error and show me how to fix it? There's a few more there. Right at the bottom, what is the single most important thing I should practice before my exam? So you can put some of these questions after you've got your feedback on your essay. So for example, let's take that last one. What's the single thing, most important thing I should practice before my exam? Let's go back into Gemini. Okay, paste that in. Okay, and this is giving me some specific advice on what I need to do, specifically planning my response. It seemed to think that the essay wasn't perhaps very well planned. Make sure that you have done those things. Okay, and gives you some ideas on how to practice it. So the idea would be you put in a few of these extra questions, find out a bit more information, and then use that information to improve your writing. And then the next time you write an essay, remember those things, and then paste it into the same chat as you've done here, because normally these AI tools will remember the previous marks and the previous grades and will perhaps comment on it. But it's important to get into that feedback loop of looking at the tips, looking at the things they suggest, working on those things before you then write another essay and submit it to it. This will help your writing a lot more than just constantly writing essays, constantly asking for band scores, because the band scores are not that accurate. And by doing that, you're not necessarily improving your writing because you're not focusing on specific areas. Okay, I hope you found that useful. A link to that form will be in the description. It's a free form. You could create it yourself in AI, and I will put a prompt in the description that you might want to use to create it yourself in your AI tool as well. if you're interested in more tips, more ideas, and more conversations about IELTS, I do have a Facebook group and a WhatsApp group. Again, all free. You can also sign up for a free consultation with me to talk through your current state of English, and what you might need to do to work on it and come up with a plan to improve. There'll be more videos about AI and IELTS in the coming weeks, especially about speaking and reading and listening. So I hope you tune in to watch those. But if not, have a great day. See you later.